What is good? Welcome back to another episode. I believe this is going to be episode 6. First thing to take into consideration today. Damn it, bro. These were my draws on liquidity yesterday. As seen, they did get taken, but they were taken at literally 5 a.m. So the market yesterday, took a loss in this chop. Overall bias, I believe, was correct for the day, but we wanted to come down and manipulate those lows before that sort of happened. Unfortunate, man, but it's really just is what it is. Like, I took a good trade. I reviewed it like when I was posting it today, and I'm actually happy with that trade. I don't really have a lot to complain about. I could have definitely got off the charts just knowing that price action wasn't that good. But today, there's a new episode, new day. I'm just looking to refresh and sort of come in here and just trade normally. Today, super freaking hectic, man. Like, this is not ideal. Federal Chairman Powell speaking at 11:30, so he's on the podium in 2 minutes. PMI and JOLTS job openings at 12. Like, I don't really know. This is 10 minutes into macro open, so for me, coming into the day, it doesn't really matter what I see on the chart. Like, I am going to be waiting for 12. Like, I'm going to be. I am pretty much going to be hands off until 12 comes out because I've lost trades in JOLTS before. This is high impact. Like, this is very high impact mixed with PMI and Federal Chairman Powell speaking coming into it. Like, it's just not ideal at all, like, whatsoever. So I am looking to take today really slow. I'll quickly mark this out just so that we have something to work with on the charts. But all in all, these draws on liquidity don't really bother me because we're sitting in the middle of nothing right now. And this is something very common with news is we will chop through the day and news releases, and we've got draws on liquidity to both sides of us. We're very likely gonna rip either way, take out all the draws and not be left with a lot. So we are putting in a bullish S&T right now. That's sort of the only real confluence that we've had all day. Like, all day we've just been sort of chopping down, so not a lot to work with. I am pretty certain that today, like, this looks like we are setting up for a long. Whether that happens from the news release or whether we actually get some price action that we can catch that with, I'm just not sure. But we've come down. We've just made our way down. Like, we've literally just chopped down tonight, and then we are starting to get some sort of reaction. So that is all I'm looking at and coming into pre-market on this daily time frame. Like, this is the new month's open, so I would be expecting a bearish movement today purely because of the fact, like, we've been ripping and ripping and ripping. We can't rip forever. Like, at some point we do need to come back down. Ideally, I think that, like, we are starting to get a bit of a range. Potentially we react off of this high here and keep sort of coming bearish, but this 4-hour candlestick closure is going to be the teller, I think. Like, we've come up here, we've reacted, we're sitting down in sort of equilibrium. This is a really weak bearish closure if we close something like this. But if we can sort of close somewhere down here, that's going to be a really strong indication to us that this could potentially be the top of that movement. So, interesting day in the charts today. Definitely something that I am open to just plain avoiding because of the fact that this is your typical high impact news day, and yeah, that's all that I have to say. I'm gonna go make a Milo because it's freezing here, and then I'll be back in the charts and making some more little videos. Love. I'm back. I just got a notification saying that old mate Powell said some shit about tariffs. So what was it? And then I also saw earlier that Trump's looking to pass the tax bill today. So it's going to be very freaking interesting in terms of news. I'm surprised we haven't had any movement yet. Just straight chop. So potentially we're waiting for the... Do I look really white on this? No, I don't know. Damn, must just be my screen. But yeah, I don't know. Potentially we're waiting for that jolts news before we actually make any sort of movement. Right now, I'd sort of just be looking at this as a retracement, you know? Like we've pushed on down here, filled in equilibrium, and I don't know. In terms of price action we've had so far, it's actually not bad at all. You know, we had this retracement here. We've already started getting legs up over here on ES. So yeah, there's definitely reasons for entries already in the markets, but I am gonna hold true, and I just want to stay super slow with it today. Oh my days, man. It's always these days where I don't want to trade. We've already had an entry. Movie. That would have been an entry of the day, probably my preferred entry of the day so far. Bullish SMT, we retrace on the 15-minute time frame, create this bullish SMT. ES is failing to come lower. Like this is a major SMT here, but literally in the middle of a Powell speech right now, so it's not ideal market conditions. Also prior to the macro opening, but knowing my luck, this would be the trade that hits. So I don't know, forward test that one, do a little bit of writing about that, just collect a little bit of data on it. That's literally a textbook setup that I would be looking for, but there's just no reason for entry. The 15 minutes still holding bullish here, 15 minutes still holding bullish over here. Too risky with news, in my personal opinion. Just tap down to this 1 minute fair value gap. Damn. But also, this is bad price action. But we do have an SMT, so that's pretty high confidence that we're going to get out of this chop. He's mentioned something about rate cuts, and we've had a little bit of a bullish movement here. I didn't realize how many relative equals we had here. Like we just had a huge run on liquidity right there. Could have been a super easy target as those highs. Just sucks, man. It's not ideal conditions today, so I am being very, very passive. Just nothing more that I can do. I'm not willing to trade before Jolts comes out. I think I've been cooked 2 times in Jolts. Like it is a major news event, so I need to be sort of listen to the data on that one and just respect it a bit more, because I've taken trades prior. I've been trading long enough now where I know what the effect of most news events are in the markets, and that is one that just cooks things, especially for me. Like I think I've probably taken 2 losses in it in my trading time, so I'd rather just look at that and leave it, you know. getting legs up here on ES, like major legs. So it'll be interesting to see how we react off of these two highs here, if we react at all. But one thing I sort of want to see is I'm going to take this off because this is really going to piss me off. Seeing a trade smack up. I want a 3-trade losing streak, bro. Like, ever since I started doing these videos, I've lost 3 trades running. I was literally on a winning streak before this, and then I've just gone bang, bang, bang. So it's been a super unfortunate run for a guy like me. Not a lot we can do though. Like, the past 2 trades I've taken were good. Both taken in pretty average market conditions, and then the first loss that I took just averagely managed conditions there as well. US short-term interest rates, futures rise after Fed Chair Powell says he can't say if July is too soon for a rate cut. Look at that. Like, those red folders are like high impact when they come out. So a day to be slow of for sure. Could even look at this as a sort of bearish SMT we're putting in right now, but the confirmation of this holding for me is going to be how strong this 15-minute candlestick closes, either to the upside or to the downside, because like, obviously we're all the way up here and we do have further to go, but how do I know that we're going to go further? It's based on this 15-minute candlestick. Like, if we can close up sort of like strong and we see some sort of retracement and a rejection, I'd be pretty confident that we're going to come and at least take out London highs in this run on liquidity just here on NQ. However, if we close, like, if we see this as more of a liquidity sweep, I'd be pretty confident that this is going to be some sort of SMT, and then we are going to rotate bearish on ES, take out 1 and 2 of these lows, and then actually give us some sort of never mind. I am bullish today, very bullish today. Yeah, look how good this hourly, the 4-hour has closed. Like, we will very likely run this entire plane of liquidity here. So this 15-minute, 5 minutes until Jolts comes out, and then I'll be open to taking a trade. That entry there would have been the one, man. It's unfortunate it happens during a literal Powell speech. I lost 2 trades last week in Powell speeches, and then this one's like smack work, so dust. This SMT doesn't look right. Like, if you look at it as an SMT, we have London highs right above us. Like, I have pretty high conviction that we're going to want to take that today. So, and also the fact that we're still sitting way down here. Like, we haven't even sort of made the attempt to come up and take anything over here on NQ. Like, literally anything. We've got a retracement now. ES is still failing to give us a retracement, but now we also have relative equal highs with London. Something to think about as sort of a target. But then we also have all these like Asian highs up here as well. So potential in the charts. Like, there's potential in the charts for sure. I'm sort of not seeing anything right now. News releases in 2 minutes, so wait for that, see how it comes out. If we don't get a trade today, I'm fine with that. If we say we take out London Asian, that's me done for the day. I don't want to be still trading. Oh, no, that's cap actually. I'd still be open to taking a short. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Nah. I don't want to short against this candlestick closure here on the 4 hour. Like, that's crazy work trying to short against that. Need to just stick with what we're seeing on these higher time frames right now, because even here it's still pretty clear that we're going to go long. Like, there's no way in hell that we rotate off of this and come down. I just don't really see that happening after bottom wicking and creating this bullish SMT. 1 minute until news opens. Alright, news release, and we've pretty much just bottom wicked almost. Like, it almost just looks like we've come down and sort of re-corrected. Interesting candlestick closure here. Very fruity ass candlestick closure. Even that 3 minute, and because now that's the 5 minute closure as well. So it's a weird one. ES looks so much better today, which is something that I haven't really seen recently. Like, usually it is NQ that's been looking 10 times better at the moment. So kind of nice to see ES actually start making some moves. I'm just not really sure what I even think of that candlestick. I don't. It's really weird how we've closed so bearish over here. And I guess same thing. No, we closed all the way up here. This was just the news move. Created lows. Honestly, there's not a lot for me to consider there. I'm not even looking at that as a retracement, because we literally closed well within the 79% extension. Like, we've closed all the way down here. Jeez, bro, not an ideal time for my internet to just cook out. This is looking good. This actually looks nice over here on ES. Like, we've bottom worked, we've come up, we've corrected the movement. Well, I guess that's kind of just the news candle though, so iffy. Right now I'm seeing a sort of retracement leak here. I am still bullish today, but goal for me is just not to force anything, because obviously this is not ideal price action, even though NQES has sort of made it super obvious what we're doing. I don't know. NQ is just not very clear to me at all. We have 1, 2, and 3 relative equal lows here. So I don't know. I mean, this personally right here is looking pretty bearish. Like this, boom, retrace. Now, where would I expect us to go from here? Very likely to come down here and take out these lows. If we say we were to create I'm not willing to short against that 15-minute candlestick, but I'd be very willing to short off of that. It's just no sort of real correlation in the charts right now. Potential is we see some sort of SMT in here and then look for a long, but it's starting to get some legs up now. I wouldn't be willing to trade just plainly off this breaker structure, due to the fact that this isn't really a retracement leg. Otherwise I would. Like, I'd see this as a retracement on news, and now we're starting to see those legs up. But can't be looking at it like that when I just personally want to see a bit more of how price develops. I'd love to see some sort of internal manipulation before taking along. Whether we get that or not is a different story, because that's pretty, like, if we see that, it's going to be pretty A+, and in these conditions I just don't know if we're going to stall for much longer. But not much more we can really look at. Starting to get a leg up here. It actually looks like we're getting some sort of strong move. Yes, just took London highs. Just not seeing a lot, bros. I feel like this is one of those days where you could take like 4 trades. Like, I could for sure place a trade off of this and justify it, but there's just no sort of opening confluence here either. Like, there's just literally nothing for me. See, okay. So I'd be open to taking a long from here. That is a really nice 15-minute candlestick closure. Just broke structure on that 15-minute time frame off of that SMT. So now at 12:15, I'm finally open to taking a sort of something. But up until now, it just hasn't been clear at all. But even here, like, I wasn't able to catch this move because of the fact that there's no SMT or no sort of opening confluence in here. Yeah. Tricky one today. If we see some sort of retracement and a rejection here, I will take a trade. Looks even more bullish over here. Looks like we'll be targeting London highs and these previous day highs. I really would just be looking to take this here. I just take these 3 draws on liquidity here. Alright. Turning down right now. We have the best run on liquidity right above us. Like 1, 2, 3, and now 4 as well. So definitely good potential for an entry right now. You pull up top CPX, right? So I always be forgetting to do this. But I'd be willing to risk pretty heavily on this one. This is A+, for a guy like me. I think ideal model. It's just an inversion of that. Doesn't really get much simpler. Only issue is without an SMT, I do need to place more lenient stops. ES sort of failing to give us any sort of retracement, which is good in a way. Gives me more confidence in this here. Yeah, we're all the way up in sort of 15-minute retracement territory right now. Let's see if we can hold this 3-minute fair value gap. God, why are we coming so far bearish, bro? God damn. Like, yeah, I get it, you know, like, bearish SMT. But do I want to short against that candlestick or against that candlestick? No. So I'm still holding bullish here. I'm still very, very bullish on the day because of how those hourly candlesticks have closed. ES has come down a lot now as well. NQ, big rotation. Okay, here we go. I don't mind this at all. This is probably one of the better things that we could have seen right now. Wasn't really expecting that to happen. Times that. I can't even freaking see that. 12. So it's off this low here. Created a bullish SMT. I'm still very bullish on the day. Literally just had that 15-minute candlestick closure over here on ES. I mean, look at that. You can't tell me we're going to rotate bearish off of that. It just looks too strongly bullish. Now I want to see some sort of model form to the upside here. And I'll be happy to take a trade up to these. I think for me, if we can inverse this gap here on ES, I'll take the trade on NQ. Because realistically, this gap here is just so massive that for us to invalidate this price action, we're going to be entering way up here. So it's just not worth our risk reward anyway. I'd rather take a little bit more risk on this entry in trading over here, but know that I can still get a decent enough risk reward to make it worth my time even entering. Realistically, I'm pretty high confidence on this right now. We do have an inverse gap there on the 5-minute. It's really just these overall higher time frame that are keeping me bullish, which isn't a bad thing at all. Are we really gonna leave this untouched? Like, really? There's no way, right? Gosh, that's so just kind of annoying, bro. Like, look at it. It's just sitting there. Why would we not want to take that? Makes no sense. And on top of that, why is ES still just not giving us literally anything? See how this 15-minute candlestick closes here? But in terms of shorts today, I don't want to take a short because where am I going over here on NQ? That 4-hour time frame's closed really bearish there. This one over here is closed really bullish. It's just like complete opposites happening in the charts right now. So it's making things really, really difficult. But I just cannot get over this. Like, that is... What? Dump it. Have we had news release? One thing we can look at it as now is potential potentially a bullish SMT. A pretty major bullish SMT at that, but literally bullish SMT from here to here. I just don't personally understand why we would come down, take this low, and then not rotate on up. Then I definitely don't want to be just taking a trade for the sake of taking a trade, you know, like it has to be something in there that is looking good. Take out this low. We have an S&T forming. ES, higher time frames telling us long. NQ, the higher time frames telling us shorts. The draws on liquidity are not telling us long today. So for that reason, I'm bullish because we have those two options in the charts. However, the draws on liquidity are to the upside. So that's my thought process right now. Let's just see if we get anything. Yeah, hopefully, even if we start dumping over here, then I do not want to be taking a trade today. And if we can start seeing some legs up, see some invalidation of this bearish movement, then I'm happy to look at this as a manipulation leg as opposed to just a plain dump. So, yeah, man, let's see what markets go. Was I even recording? That is looking to me like a bearish SMT. I don't know where we're going to go over here. I mean, I guess we have everywhere to go. We have these lows here. Market is overall very bearish on NQ here. Wild that we didn't come take that. Personally, I'm just not willing to short the market right now. I don't like that these pairs are. I don't like that the pairs aren't correlating. Sorry. I don't like that NQ doesn't really have a draw on liquidity to target. And for that reason, I'd rather not trade, to be honest, man. Like, I'd rather call it a night and just jump off the charts rather than take a short, even though this change in the state is a very valid entry for me. Like, this is overall confirmation that we're going to go short. And that model there is a very valid entry. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like scared to take a trade or what, but it just doesn't feel right at all. Something about it just feels off, and I'd rather not trade when I feel like that. It's just not clear today. Like, if you look at the hourly here, we look super bullish. unless I view this SMT as, it's almost like this SMT was just to displace to London highs, and then obviously we've failed to take London highs here, and now we're going to get that rotation down. But the 15 minutes still not clear here. The 15 minutes almost too clear here. So that was the entry for the day for me, was off of this change in the state, but I don't know, man, I'm really just not willing to trade. I'm just not willing to trade, and especially when NQ has already made such a major movement. Like, NQ's already moved so far bearish that it's kind of like, how long do we expect this sort of momentum to keep going? You know, like, how can we realistically expect this overall bearish momentum to continue? I don't really see it continuing. Like, if we're just looking at it right now, for ES to come take these lows, NQ's pretty much got to come all the way down here and take out these lows, which is definitely possible, but I just don't see that happening in sort of a really strong fashion. A couple little forward tests we've played today. But just nothing clear for me. So I think I'm going to call that my day. I'm going to jump out the charts before I sort of... I'll stay for a little bit longer. Just until I see some sort of bearish confirmation on this 15 minute over here. I'll see how this 15 minute candlestick closes, and from here I'll either call it a day or continue to potentially be open to taking along. We do have these really nice draws on liquidity above us. Just not sure. That concludes my trading day. This is the only sort of trade that I would want to take right now, but at the time, 15 minute was very unclear. There's a lot of contradiction in the charts tonight, and it's late into the market open, so I'm done. Story of today is there was two completely different charts that I was looking at. Like, ES and NQ were completely contradicting themselves today. I don't want to trade when it's like that. Personally, it's lower probability for one, and I don't know, as a unprofitable trader, it's like you're looking at the charts and it's just not clear. Like, I can see SMTs in both directions. I mean, you see here, like, the story of the day, what we've actually done is we created this bullish SMT. This bullish SMT's job was to displace London highs. We've created a bearish SMT off of London highs while also creating this insane run on liquidity. And I think I sort of just got caught up on this run on liquidity a little bit. We've given confirmation to the downside here on NQ, but over here on ES, we're still looking very bullish. So it's sort of been hard for me to take a trade when that trade presented itself off the change in the state on the 3 minute, because of the fact that at the time, the 15 minute time frame just still did not look bearish one little bit. And so I'm taking trades based on two completely different looking charts. And for that reason, I have just called it a day early. It is 12:47 right now, so it's already really late into market open. And yeah, man, that is my day. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I know this has been a bit of a boring one today, but the charts were boring. Like, there just wasn't a lot for me to even sort of look at. But if you guys haven't seen episode 5, The previous video was very good. Like, I feel like that was probably the most beneficial piece of content that I've ever put out. It was, yeah, I don't know. There was a lot going on, I feel like, in terms of my analysis and then also taking a loss. There's a lot to learn from. So yesterday, happy with my trade, but definitely some things to sort of think about right now. It's just too late for me to even be considering improving right now, man. I'm exhausted. It's been a massive day. So that is me, over and out. Thank you boys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow for episode 7. Love.